so click it there. There we go. What the fuck? Okay. Is it gonna be able to catch? Oh, okay, there it goes. There's the refresh. There we go. All right. Now we're talking, folks. Now we can just do a quick little that. Oh, come on. There you go. Oh, you son of a beach. There we go. And then, sure. I guess. No, that's not what I want right there. That's what I want right there. Thank you. How was that so difficult? Okay. There we go. So there's that. And then I need to throw up this over here to keep this, to keep the lighting consistent. Can we? Thank you. Like, what the fuck? Okay. I'm trying to remember how we did this last year. How did I have? Was I really just that locked in last year? Okay. I don't know, you guys get to see all the behind the scenes because I'm trying to set up multiple things. I shouldn't have done that, but I did. No, bro, it's not gaming. It's. God, I hate when this thing does this. Sports. Hola, brother. Yep. Okay. Hopefully y'all can hear me because I think. Oh wait, whoops. Y'all are getting the wrong angle here. Why is my camera not flipped? Excuse me. Flip camera. Thank you. Like what the hell? Oh, you're looking like a goddamn amateur. Okay. So here we go. Okay. So NBA draft is now about to start. Put that there. See if that fixes that. Does that work? Okay. Cool. Perfect. Wait. What? Why is YouTube crashing? What the fuck? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Stream settings. Oh, I'm locked in. I don't even get a choice. Hell yeah, brother. Not receiving enough. Okay, so maybe this is killing it too much. So if I put this up here, maybe, and then we kill that, make sure everything else on my computer is dead because the computer right now is not a fan of trying to do both for some reason. Why is YouTube killing my computer? That's tough. Okay. I apologize in advance because y'all are going to have to watch me eat because I'm starving and didn't eat before stream started like a jackass. But we are here to do, I know this is a hell of an intro so far. Don't mind me. But yeah, we are here to react to the 2024 NBA draft. We will go over the Mikal stuff, the OG stuff, the Jimmy stuff. Sorry, all that. As we get through the night, I'm not gonna like press into it right away. And then TikTok, your stream stays up as long as the phone lasts. I hope it lasts the whole first round because all we get is the first round today. I will not be streaming the second round, just FYI. I barely know enough prospects to stream the first round, so we're not streaming the second round. But yeah. Everybody remember, no spoilers. Oh shit. It's awkward. I think that's gonna end that as not. Whoops. My bad, TikTok. Forgot I have to retweet myself over here. There we go. Okay. Hey. Oh, I forgot I just paused on TikTok. Hell yeah, brother. Okay. I don't need to promote on TikTok because, quite frankly, this is a TikTok channel that's supposed to be having this content on it anyway. This is just the TikTok channel I can go live on. So then, therefore, the TikTok channel that gets to go live. But yeah. So, again, No, I'm eating. Sorry. Starving. Um, so make sure everybody's Woj's notices are off, your Shams notices are off, etc., etc. Because you know they spoil this stuff about 10 minutes beforehand. Let me lower this thing a pinch. I also don't like that YouTube is a rather behind platform, you know, as far as like being on time with like reaction and stuff. A little bit delayed. Uh, ooh, okay. We're off to a great start. So, um, all intel as of today, at least, seems like Ricochet is the one going first. Um, Alex Sarr did not work out still with Atlanta, as far as I know. Pick is in for him. So kind of some small things as we're waiting on the official announcement here. I don't know if anybody saw it, but like an hour and a half before the draft, Washington traded Denny Avdia to Portland for 14, and I believe it was a 2029 first. It's interesting to say the least. Personally, if I am Washington, I'm not trading that or I'm not trading for the 14th pick. Denny Avdia proved some stuff last year. Showed some flash as far as a defender, as far as a playmaker, as far as a connector, and he's on a pretty good deal. I think he only makes about 14 million a year. So to trade him for pick 14, especially in quote unquote this draft, was a little surprising. Also to see him traded before Kyle Kuzma was really surprising too. I really expected Kyle Kuzma to be the first domino to fall in Washington. But yeah, so it is going to be Denny Avdia that got traded first out of Washington. I almost wonder if that changes their pick a little bit. Maybe they wanted to wing it too instead of Alex Sarr. Because we always have a guy that drops every year, right? There's always that one guy that just randomly drops. Maybe it's Alex Sarr this year. Um, I didn't think so. Kind of assumed Topic is the one that was gonna, absolutely fall because of the partial ACL tear, and we're pretty sure he can't play really much of at all this year, right? So, uh, but yeah, so that was a little surprising to hear. We'll see once we get to Washington's pick here in a little bit. Need that Torlini. But yeah, so what are your guys' thoughts so far? I guess, if anything, do we want to talk the Mikal Bridges trade? I mean, I get it's a lot of picks, right? It's a lot of New York picks, to say the least. You got to figure you're trading basically every other year for the next 8 years or so. Um, but I mean, I think this team proved that if the East breaks right, and they maybe have half of their team left, that they can really actually make a push, make a run, be competitive. Especially with it sounds like OG Anunoby is going to re-sign with New York for 215, I believe was the number. So hearing all of that, it sounds like they are really gearing that team to play towards Boston. I am curious though, as far as what centers they keep. I just don't know what Mitchell Robinson's trade market is. Zachary Ricochet is officially the first overall pick for the Atlanta Hawks. So I don't know if that means Clint Capella stays. I don't know if that means obviously Okongwu will still be on the roster, I would assume. I would kind of like to see Okongwu move towards that starter role, but as of right now, it looks like they are going to try and pair him up with Jalen Johnson, and I would assume Trae Young, but we will see. Obviously, once we get to that point, Washington now on the board. We'll see how quickly Washington ends up putting their pick in. I'm kind of curious here. But we will see. Obviously, you guys know the first round, especially now that it's a whole day event, it's going to take quite a bit of time. Wish I didn't have to use this bright light here, but because it is absolutely murdering my eyes right now. But we will see. Again, I'm not going to know a ton of the prospects. I didn't do a super in-depth dive on prospects this year, but from everything I've heard, Ricochet is very much a 3-and-D type of guy, connector guy. Not a guy you expect to be the best player in your team, but maybe like a third option or so. So with Trae Young, it makes sense, at least if they are planning on keeping Trae Young. The $1 million question is obviously, is it Trae Young? Is it DeJounte? What role does that end up happening here in Atlanta? As obviously we haven't seen any trades from Atlanta yet. With Washington getting busy, with Brooklyn, or the Nets getting busy, I guess. Keep wanting to call them Brooklyn. Houston got in on that too. But I am curious, right? There were rumors a little bit before the draft started that Detroit was looking to trade their pick. I understand it. They want to become a more competitive team, so it makes sense in my eyes. But I just don't know exactly what value you're getting for 5. And also, I just don't know if it's worth it to really be going in on another first-year head coach, first-year general manager, and really trying to be in that quote-unquote improving now. I understand the East is open. As of at least some reports, it looks like the Bulls may take a step back. Obviously, Brooklyn's taking as many step backs as possible. But you do still have to compete with teams like Charlotte and those sort of organizations that want to move up into the play-in range. Obviously, that's where, if you're Detroit, that's really where your target is, obviously, is to at least be in those playing games and at least get some kind of experience, right? But yeah, Washington does have 4 minutes. It seems like they're going to take their full time, of course. You got to fill in those TV timeouts, right? But any topics you guys want to talk about personally? If your team has a draft pick, anybody have any prospects they would want for their respective team? May not know a whole lot, but I do know a little bit. If you guys are new to the TikTok, make sure to check out the YouTube remote front office. That is where this video will be going, as well as that is where all of the off-season content will be for me basketball-wise. Obviously, if you are on the TikTok, you know this is not normally a TikTok video, but the last couple of years it has been on this TikTok just because this is the TikTok that can go live. So yeah, just kind of how it ends up going, right? I don't understand how you've had days, weeks, months to prepare for this pick, and every team uses every single second. But if here we go. Washington didn't take all their time, thank God. But yeah, so the pick is in. If you are the Hawks, I'm assuming they go Alex Sarr, right? Or were they really expecting Clingan to go first, and so they were going to get Ricochet? I guess would be my first question. Because if that's the case, that makes a little more sense why you traded Denny, because you wanted to clear some room up. But still would have to assume it's Sarr. I don't think it'd be Clingan here, right? If it is Clingan, though, I wonder if you're Houston with all the win now reports, do you still go Alex Sarr? Would be my question. Because obviously it seems like Reed Shepard's pretty much the primary guy that everybody wants for them. But, we'll have to see kind of where it ends up going, right? Yeah, okay. Oh, that's right. I forgot. It says pick is in, and then you wait 5 minutes. Ugh. Man, I wish I had a slightly different light that would not like blind me. Um, the fact the Wizards say Jordan Poole, Kuzma are key players, it's not. It's really cool about it. Jordan Poole, I think you list there technically because you can't really trade him. I don't know what you're getting for him. Um, I mean, the fact that it just showed Washington's a protected cap space and none's pretty hilarious to me. That's pretty funny. Oh my God. So that app's now doing spoilers? Jesus. So if you guys have the Sleeper app, shut off your notifications. Because yeah, I guess they've decided they're getting in the spoiling pick business. Just a heads up. So Don't know what fantasy apps you guys use, but just a little FYI there for you. Oh, here we go. All right, Adam, what we got? Second pick in the 2024 draft, Alex Sarr. Okay. So he took the big man that wants to play power forward. Definitely looking like a boomer bust guy. We'll see. I understand not everybody liked his tape, but I think if you're Washington, obviously, you have to build through the draft. And I think you kind of just take a swing for the fence and hope it works out, right? You're not going to get a bunch of big time guys. You're not going to get easy trades for superstars. So I guess it's at least worth a shot, right? You just better hope a lot of things go right with him. I'm going to be honest. You know what I mean? Between the hope that the jump shot pans out. Obviously, I think his defense will translate. It's really the offensive stuff that's more so my concern personally. Is just making sure that the jump shot, the decision making, the finishing at the rim. That's really my main concern personally with Alex Sarr is the offensive end. I trust the defensive end. I think he'll be a good switchable big, be able to guard the rim, be able to at least step out on the perimeter, get a good contest, at least be able to stay with people. You know what I mean? So I think all in all, I mean, I understand the pick. Bro, why does this thing keeps freaking skipping? It's gonna piss me off. But yeah, now we are off to Houston, right? So as of right now, Houston has not traded their pick. I doubt they find a trade in time to at least get the big upgrade that they want. So we'll have to see. Just curious. I do like that we've had the re-signing window for players that are on the same that are returning to the same team. That negotiating window being open has been really nice. Just because then we've gotten at least some of these deals out of the way. I haven't had to talk about, like Malik Monk was one of the first ones to sign. I didn't have to talk his destinations. OG ended up resigning, which was a pretty nice deal. The 5 for 215. And then you've got I'm surprised the Hartenstein deal hasn't gotten done. But I almost wonder if they're waiting for a Mitchell Robinson trade for his. I feel like it just makes the most sense. But Houston on the board, right? So Houston, you were a borderline playing team. So made abundantly clear you want to compete, right? The fact that you traded or you gave Brooklyn back their picks in order to trade for the Suns picks, from all the reports at least sound like they want to use it as leverage against Phoenix if they ever decide to blow it up. Obviously, if they're going to blow it up, my first and foremost thought would be to you would go after Devin Booker, right? Initially, it was Kevin Durant, which was kind of weird. But personally, I think that would really kind of focus on Devin Booker, right? Under contract a little bit longer, younger by a long shot, uh, and just kind of more of what the modern NBA is leaning towards, right? I think Durant, he won't age poorly, right? He's not going to age poorly. But I do think that Durant maybe will be in for a steeper decline quicker than people think just due to his injury history. Just kind of the way we've seen him go the last couple of years. I feel like it's been even a couple of years ago, right? We had the Boston Brooklyn series and they got swept, and Durant just didn't really look like himself. I understand part of that supporting cast and this, that, the third. But I mean, just point blank period, he just didn't look like himself, right? But yeah, so looks like the Houston Rockets have their pick in. And if I was to open my phone, it would tell me because the Sleeper app apparently has spoilers. The only annoying thing is I wish I could keep like certain notifications on. I wish I could like maybe that's the future of Twitter, right? You put in like on draft night, you can disable notifications for certain people unless it has certain words in it, right? Because then if like a trade happens or something, I could get those notices and stuff like that. But yeah, all right. What are we talking about now? To be honest, guys, I may just do the lottery this year because of the little one of the wow English. The little of the draft I've watched, we'll see how it goes. Honestly, um, I for sure want to do the Bulls because I for sure want to make sure that I get. We've discussed that at least, but with just all like the free agency stuff that happened the last couple of days, we may just do the lottery this year and then end up readjusting and doing a video on what I think are. Um, yeah, but here we go. All right, so Houston pick is in. Reed Shepard. Okay. All right. So I think this has gone pretty chalk so far, right? Um, I think a lot of people had Ricochet first. I think once we figured out he was first, a lot of people had Sarr second. And then I think pretty much almost consensus was Reed Shepard to Houston, right? I think that was a pretty quick and easy 1-2, right? Just because they need an offensive minded guard. And a year under Fred VanVleet, I don't mind it for Reed. I do still have questions defensively for him, but I think as far as offensively, right? The range, the ability to handle the ball, the throw aheads, playmaking wise, I just think that a year under Fred VanVleet won't hurt. A year under Ime won't hurt. And I think shortly after that, he can step into either that starting guard role or maybe a starting shooting guard and amend your starting guard. I feel like they can kind of do like a joint ball handling responsibilities. And Jalen Green, I still would kind of assume is probably in a bigger deal. But, you know, first and foremost, I think that all in all, it would be a good start for. And I also think he'd be a good piece as far as if they end up going into a true win now push, right? I think a lot of rebuilding teams will want a starting quality guard, right? Starting quality point guard, especially. So I think he could be used in one of those deals to move up, right? As far as if they end up going into a full win now mode, like the rumors were for, Kevin Durant. Because I think the last rumor I heard was Şengün and first and salary filler, obviously, but for Kevin Durant, which was interesting. But yeah, I like this pick. I think it's a good pick. Now, Spurs time, folks. You guys watched the last video I did, Spurs wise. In my mock, at least, this is Stephon Castle, right? I understand the shooting ups and downs, but to get a 6'6" to 6'7" defender on the wing that you can bring into this team as like a secondary ball handler, and you still have pick 8 to go get a primary ball handler. I personally am a huge fan of going to get Stephon Castle, but we will see here in a couple minutes because they've got a little bit of time before their pick is officially due, right? So if you're Wemby, right, do you want like a Stephon Castle to go? Or do you want maybe like a Dalton Connect, Rob Dillingham guy, right? Because Dalton Connect obviously isn't going to be a creator. He could be a shooter. Um, Also, I just don't know how much higher his ceiling is than his floor. And then you've got a guy like Castle, who, I mean, offensively, obviously, we will have to see. Playmaking wise, I think of him more as a connective playmaker, not an on the ball playmaker. And then defensively, obviously, I love the range. I love the versatility. If you guys know, if you guys have been paying attention to content I've put out, at least as far as my preferences go, right? So um, that probably would be my first thought, right? Would be Stephon Castle here, but I'm curious because Dalton Connect or not Dalton Connect, Klingon's also on the board. Do you take Klingon? Do you trade the pick back? I don't feel like you trade four back. If anything, I feel like you trade back from eight. But I am just curious, right? Wonder if because I mean they've already got a feels like a bazillion picks, right? Between the Bulls protected, Charlotte's protected next year, uh, their own picks, Atlanta's picks. I just wonder if maybe you wait it out a little bit and play the true long game with it, right? And not necessarily the let's go get a connect and then like somebody a little bit older with that eighth pick too. Oh yeah, but I don't know. Got about 2 minutes left until the pick is up. Getting curious to see San Antonio's thoughts here. I really would like Castle and Devon Carter or Devin Carter for them. Ideally, if I'm in San Antonio's war room, that is at 4 I want Castle and at 8 I want Carter. That's just me personally though. If I'm building a team around Wemby, I'm thinking switchability, connective playmakers, can handle the ball when needed, but not necessarily a primary ball handler, and high IQ guys. But we shall see. Pick is in for San Antonio. I forgot what to sit through the whole 3 minute intro clip of how the Spurs became the Spurs, right? Oh, is it talking about their lottery picks or whatever and how few of them they've had? Is that what this is? I don't have sound on for the draft, guys, so I'm over here just kind of watching it. I feel bad for you guys that are, you know, sitting over here with just my voice in the background. So I guess if you're San Antonio, how much stock do you put in to what Wemby requests out of these picks, right? He's not in the war room with you, so I'm just curious, right? If you're the Spurs, how much input you go to Wemby and say, "Hey, here's our top three," and he picks one, or does he rank them or whatever? I'm just curious. All right, San Antonio, do it right. Stephon Castle, folks, for 4 for 4. 4 for 4. A good pick. That's a very good pick. I like that pick a lot for that. Really do. Kept saying in all the pre-draft stuff he wanted to play a primary guard. As of right now, it's going to be him as a primary guard, right? Or I guess is he starting next to Trey Jones? Is that what he's doing? Oh, did the ESPN stream crash? Are we effing serious? Oh my god, it did full crash. What the hell? But anyhow, right? Are we so if you're San Antonio putting Trey Jones next to Stephon Castle, and then I guess Devin Vassell sliding to your three, or are you going Castle, Vassell, Kelvin Johnson, Sohan, Wemby, right? The one problem I have with that is it's kind of a minimal amount of shooting, right? Keldon had kind of an off year as a shooter. Sohan's not a shooter. Castle's gonna need work in order to become a shooter. Like I feel like there's a lot of issues if you run Castle and Sohan at the same time, personally. I am curious though. Very, very curious. right? This is Buzelis, right? If you're Detroit, at least that would be my guess. Is that you're trusting the shot to come around? Or do you take a complete shot in the dark and go Devin Carter? So I'm gonna be honest, like Devin Carter, I'm gonna mock Devin Carter for the next. Well, I won't mock him for the Portland pick, but for last couple of picks or whatever, I definitely will. Oh, good lord, what is Woj on here for? It's never a good time when Woj is on your screen. Pull this down here. Oh, goddamn. Oh, hit the wrong notification. Alright. Pick is in for Detroit. We're all assuming Buzelis. And what the what's wrong with my internet right now? It's crazy. New regime here in Detroit. Obviously, you're not going Klingon because of Jalen Duren. I like Jalen Duren a lot. I think it's pretty consensus that Jalen Duren is staying. But I am curious here. Don't pan to Donovan Klingon, please. There's no way. There's no way. Like, let's not. Come on. No, no, no. Donovan Klingon just looks miserable, to be there honest. All right. Mr. Adam Silver, please make your way to the stage. Have the worst record and end up fifth is just brutal. Just absolutely brutal. There's no way you take Ron Holland, right? There's no way you take another project shooter. Refuse to believe that. All right. Oh, there we go. That's the other draft room. Thing went haywire there for a second. Oh my god, how long is the pick going to be in for? Jesus. Pick's been in for longer than y'all can select. Like, let's get it moving here, people. All right, what we got? No. No. Detroit, man, what are you doing? You just took a dude that couldn't shoot last year. Every other person I've heard talk about this has had him in like the teens, bro. Like, I get it. He was like one of the number one recruits coming out the last couple of years, at least in this class. And then he had a really bad year. Turns out he can't shoot. I can't believe you just gave Cade Ron Holland, bro. Get Cade some help. Like, bro, there's no shot. Like, oh my God, bro. I can't believe Detroit did that. I really can't. Of all the like random picks I expected Detroit, like I expected Klingon before I expected Ron Holland, right? Because I thought we all just mutually understood that he can't shoot right now. Like, I love the versatility defensively, don't get me wrong, and the athleticism and everything, but you drafted that last year. You drafted Asar Thompson. Like, that's literally what you drafted last year. Is a rangy wing who can do a bit of everything but shoot the ball. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Yeah, he's an aggressive scorer when he has court spacing. Can't be an aggressive scorer with no court spacing. What, you can have Durden on one block, Asar on another one, and Ron Holland going down the middle? Man, I don't like that at all. Do not like that at all. All right, Charlotte. All right, if you're Charlotte, what do you do? Because honestly, Ron Holland, I would have been okay with them taking Ron Holland. Not gonna lie to you. I've been okay with that. Because at least for them, right? You've got, you know, LaMelo, who's at least a positive shooter. Brandon Miller's a positive shooter. Uh, Miles Bridges, I feel like, is an okay shooter. Obviously, Mark Williams isn't a shooter, but still, at least it's only one other non-shooter that you can kind of rotate minutes with. I can't believe that. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I really can't believe that. But Detroit went Ron Holland, bro. That's crazy to me. Really curious what Charlotte does now. Do you go wing? Do you go guard? Do you go big? Surely there's no way they plan to go. Just find it really hard to have Mark Williams already on the roster and then go another center. I really do. I don't know what is going on with everything today. There it goes. Okay. Let's say if it freezes up again, guys, honestly, I will cut stream short because I don't know why everything just seems to be having internet issues right now. My power went out yesterday, but it shouldn't have anything to do with my internet issues. Oh yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Um, I don't know. So, the YouTube thing has yet again decided to freeze again for about the 17th time I've been trying to do this. So we're gonna call streams right now. I will record my reaction to the Bulls pick when it comes up, and post that as a separate video. And then Friday's video on the channel will end up being reactions to the draft, reactions to trade, reactions to signings. We'll cover the full thing there. So sorry that it didn't end up going as long as I planned it on. But for whatever reason, the YouTube end of this just doesn't like that I'm trying to run watching the draft